Hi. Let's see, I'm gonna get it on. Gallery view and up. Hi, Emily. So it's looks like a small class today, although maybe others will be joining us. Let's start with the opening invocations. And dealing with the lag, there's a few different ways to deal with it. One way we could deal with it that somebody suggested is we could have, we can do the, we're going to be muted on Zoom, but call in on the phone, and the phone won't have the lag. But then we'll still see like the visual lag, I think. I can go more slowly with the call and response, and it can also be more like I do the call and you just respond. So there's not like the weirdness of my, and then then potentially sometimes when we chant together, you could mute so that we all only hear ourselves if we're chanting something that we all know together. But I'll do the opening. We'll do the opening invocation one time, call and response, and I'll be quiet during the response. I'll lead it. Let's see how that works. Okay. Let's do an Om together, though. Om, it doesn't matter. Om Shri Ganeshaya Namaha. Your turn.
Om Shri Ganesha Namaha.
Om Shri Saraswatyai Namaha.
Om Shri
Saraswatyai Namaha.
Om Namo Gurave Namaha.
Om Namo Gurave Namaha.
Gurave Namaha.
Om. So usually I do the opening invocation 3 times, but today I was just doing it once because of the lag, really, honestly. But we'll see it's an ongoing experiment to see what works best.
Totally. I'm gonna hop off and join back in. My internet was cutting out too, which is complicating matters. So I'll be right back.
Okay. Sarah, do you have any questions before we get started, or anything that you want clarified or you want to?
Like side note, some other Sanskrit terms and pronunciations came up for me that I was going to ask you about.
Okay.
So yeah, if we have time for that, like I'm looking at there's a wheel of yoga and all the different modalities. So like hatha yoga, mantra yoga, and then there's Jnana yoga, which I've heard is jhana yoga, but also is like more of a Y.
Jnana yoga.
Jnana yoga.
Jnana. It's this. Well, let's see if I have it on here. It's like Agnya. It's that. It's this that symbol right there. The nya.
Okay.
Jnana yoga. So jnana is like knowledge.
Okay.
Learning. Vijnana is like, with the prefix V in front of it, it's like experience knowledge, like, sort of like the real, like the internal, and jnana itself is more like book learning,
Okay. Yeah.
So.
And the other thing that came up for me with regards to kind of the same thing is, so like Raja Yoga, which was translated as royal or meditation. I wondered how that different from like Rajas when we talk about like in the Yoga Sutras.
Right. So Raja Yoga is a long it's Raja.
Okay.
That means king.
Okay.
And Rajas, the guna, is a short
Okay.
They're actually two different words. They're not
Okay.
the same at all.
Thank you for clarifying.
Yeah, no, it makes a difference. It's one of those things that doesn't really come across that much in the, when you're, like if you don't, that's a second. If without the actual transliteration, the correct transliteration, without having put the long mark over the you can't really. There would be no way to know that there's a difference.
Yeah. Thank you.
Sure.
I'm just gonna reach for my pen. It's like over there.
Emily, did you have any questions before we go?
Nothing specifically.
Okay. No. Your screen froze. Just.
Let me fix. Oh man, okay. Technology.
Yeah, I know.
I think I did something to it that made it unhappy.
It's taking it out on you now. Okay, so let's.
There we go.
We'll start by reviewing the vowels. So you'll need your sheet, and again, and then we'll go on to the consonants. The vowels start with the first three are the primary sounds. Which is like the sound of creation, the basic void. I, and E, then I is more like the point, that initial manifestation of that creative energy. Then U is more like the full creative impact. U. And I'm telling you, like, these are according to a Shaivite tradition, the kind of like the meanings or the associations with the vowel sounds. But if you chant them yourself, you will feel you'll feel your own associations as well. Mm-hmm. R and R are said to be associated with fire, and L and L are said to be associated with the masculine, feminine, creative energy. Then the diphthongs would be the A and I are the combination of A and E. So that's the combination of those two energies. And the O and Ow are the combination of A and U. Ow. Because if you say A, E, I, it becomes I or A. And U becomes O or Ow. And is the drawing in, and is the release. Okay, so I'll chant it. We'll do it call and response. I, U. Together.
I, U.
A, I, O, Ow,
A, I, O, Ow,
R, R,
R, R.
So the easiest way to get those right, and it will take a while, and it's easier when they're in words, is with the r. Your tongue is on the roof of the mouth, r and r, and when you're saying the l, your tongue is against the teeth, the back of the teeth. Yeah.
Okay.
Okay, let's chant it through together, and put yourselves on mute so we can actually chant it together, and then you can unmute after. Let's do it 3 times together. Okay, we'll start with an Om. Om. I, U, U. A, I, O, Ow, R, R, lit, litter. I, U, U. lrit, lr, I, u, a, I, o, ow, aha, rit, lr, lrit, lr, om. Unmute yourself, actually. I think I want to be able to hear you, actually, to hear if you're doing it right. It's a little too odd to just chant it myself.
It was helpful, I think, to do that a couple of times. But I can, doing like a combination of both makes sense.
Yeah. So we're still working to try to find out the best one. Let's do it. Let's do it together, and we will skip the r and the lr because those are so difficult. It's easier to chant it. There's more of a flow. If it's the I, u, a, I, o, ow, aha. Let's do that together 3 times. And we'll try to coordinate, see how that works coordinating. And then we'll try, then we'll see how that works. Okay, ready? With an om. A, I, O, ow, aha. I, u, a, I, o, ow, aha. I, u, a, I, o, ow, aha. Om. So now let's try. I'll do it one. Try each of the r, r. Let's see how. And so r, r. Let's hear.
R, r,
r, r, rit, r.
r.
Good. Lit, lr. Lit,
r.
Not bad. Pretty good. You'll probably never have to say lrit. And I think I said last time that sometimes there are some people say it's lrit, lri, and rit, ri, but whatever. It doesn't matter that much. Anyhow, so now let's move on to the consonants. So the consonants are more, the parts of the mouth are an important part. I mean, the parts of the mouth are important in both. I can't find my usual pointer. Oh, here it is. So can you see this? Is it even worth doing this? Does that, okay.
I can see it.
Okay. So
I also have the,
and you have it yourself. So they move up the parts of the mouth from the back, from the gutturals, and they get increasingly more air goes into them until it gets to the nasalization, which is a held in. So they're called hard, unvoiced, and soft. I'll explain that after. But so the gutturals are k, k. So the k, I really like hey Sheila, the explanation that David Gear gives. He's the one who wrote the pronunciation guide that I sent to you. And he has a book out that I really recommend. It's called Essential Sanskrit Grammar, newly published. It's really good, by David Gear. And like he says, like this is like workhorse, like the kaha, it's a kaha, workha. so it has a little extra air at the end of it. We'll sort of overstate it a little bit in chanting it, but it's more like dukha. It's not dukkha, it's dukha. It's got a little extra something. I've heard it both described as more forceful because it has the ha, and softer because the ha kind of softens it, and it softens the ka in a way, but it does have more air. So this is ka, together.
Ka.
Ka. Right. Ga, gaha.
Ga.
Gaha.
Gaha.
So now if you say, so say ka, and put your hand here, ka. Say ga.
Ga.
So ka, ga, ga. You can feel with the ga that there's a ga. You can feel more of a you can feel like a change in like the vocal muscles. That's why these are unvoiced and these are voiced. That's the difference. You can, we'll do that again. We'll go through them all though. So ka, kaha, ga, gaha, and then the nasalization, like it says this is like try to say N at the back of your throat. It's more like nga. It's barely an N. It's more like NG, like nga, ganga, 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 Parangushtasana. It's like really far back. It's kind of a fun sound to say actually. Ganga. So ka, kaha, ga, gaha, nga. Together? Or you
Ka,
two?
kaha, ga, gaha, na.
Nga. Nga. Yeah. Okay. Then these are palatals. The tongue, I mean, the air goes, so the tongue puts the air towards the soft palate, as far back as you can get your tongue. Cha, chaha, ja, jaha, na. You.
Cha, chaha, ja, jaha, na.
Good. Okay. Then the cerebrals. This is, your tongue is against the hard palate. Ta, taha, da, taha, na.
Ka, kaha,
Good.
ga, gaha, na.
Good. Okay. Then these are easy. And knowing the difference, being able to say the difference between these two, and you recognize the oh my God, I'm just spacing on the word. The mark that shows the transliteration marks, the diacritical marks. Like the cerebrals all have the little dot underneath it. And even you'll see like the r, which is cerebral, has the dot underneath it too. The only exception is the lr, which is not cerebral. But these are easy. Ta, taha, da, daha, na.
Ta, taha, da, daha, na.
And the labials, which are also easy. Pa, paha, ba, baha, ma.
Pa, paha, ba, baha, ma.
Okay, so let's move up from the, these are the 25 consonants, basic consonants. Okay, so we're going to go from we're going to move up the parts of the mouth. So we're going to go ka, cha, ta, ta, ha. Okay? Ka,
cha,
ta,
ta,
ha. Good. Ka, cha, ta, ta, ha. Okay?
Kaha, chaha, kaha, taha, paha.
Okay, let's do this. This one?
Kaha,
Ka, taha.
kaha,
Let's hear the difference.
kaha, taha.
Good. Okay. Okay. Ga, Ka, da, da, ba.
Ga,
Ga,
da,
ja,
Ga,
Da.
ga,
ga,
da,
da,
ba.
ba. Good.
ba.
Gaha, 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 daha, baha.
Gaha,
Jaha,
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 gaha,
daha,
daha,
baha.
baha.
And just, we're overemphasizing it. When you actually see it in a word, you don't add the aha, it's just like, it's da,
Da,
So it's ga, ga, ba. But as
ga,
opposed to da,
da,
ga.
ga, da.
Okay. Nga, na, 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 ma. Can you hear the difference?
Barely.
Yeah. You'll feel the difference when you say, okay, nga,
Yeah. Na,
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 Yeah.
na,
Yeah.
na,
No.
ma.
Ma. I get the ma, but then the two before that, I don't understand the
The-
difference between.
You don't understand the difference between those two?
Yeah.
Okay, na. So like Krishna, the tongue is back there. Like asana, the tongue is up. The asana is this. The tongue is on the teeth, the back of the teeth. Krishna is all like cerebral. Krishna.
No.
Krishna.
Oh, so it's all in the back of
Krishna.
the
Against the
throat.
cerebral. It's against the roof,
Krishna.
the
Krishna.
hard palate. Krishna.
Krishna.
So, and just for the record, I mean, Krishna is not really, it's not Krishna. It's, can you see, so there's can you see it? It's it's not Krishna. There's no, it's the ra. It's the r. And those are all, so you have three
Krishna.
syllables in a row. Your tongue just stays there against the hard palate.
Are there a lot of words like that against the hard
Krishna,
palate?
or so a lot of the times,
Like the divine words?
What?
Like a lot of the words surrounding divinity?
No.
It's just interesting. I'm comparing it to something else I read.
Oh, well, there, a lot of times Sanskrit will keep the tongue in the same place, but not always. Like, so for example, Shirshasana is fun because it's Shir Shasana. Oh, we haven't gotten to the sibilants, but it's the palatal, the dental, the cerebral, and the dental, all of the three sibilants in one word. So Shir Shasana. So, but a lot of the times, like there are rules too surrounding, like sometimes where the end, the dental end, this gets replaced with the cerebral end. That there's Panini rules around that, this replacing that, depending upon what comes in front of it. So Panini being like the grammar, the big grammarian. Okay. So the I'll chant it. We'll do call and response. Ka, ka, ga, ga, nga. Together. Ka, ga, ga, nga. Cha, cha, ja, ja, na. Cha, ja, ja, na. Ta, ta, da, da, na. Da, 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 na. t, t, d, d, n,
t,
t, t,
ta,
d,
ta,
d, n, p, p, b, b, m, p,
pa, pa, ba,
b,
ma.
m. Okay, now we get to the semi-vowels. So the semi-vowels are like energetically, they occupy that middle ground between vowel and consonant. So they're very powerful. And the bija mantras, the main bija mantras involve semi-vowels, like the chakra bija mantras are go through the semi-vowels actually. So the semi-vowels are called semi-vowels. So the semi-vowels are, they're easy, ya, which is palatal, ra, which is cerebral, la, which is dental, and va, which is labial dental. But the reason why they're semi-vowels is because this is, A is a, e, I, and O is a, u. But if you have E first, E-I becomes ya, E-a becomes ya, U-a, wa becomes va, which sounds more like a W most of the time, wa. Ra becomes ra, lr-a becomes la. So does that make sense? Was I clear enough? They become, like these diphthongs are created by a first and then the other simple vowels following. And the semi-vowels are created by the other vowels first followed by a. That's how they, that's why they're semi-vowels. Most of the time people are like, why are those semi-vowels? They just seem like other consonants to me, but that's why. So like, for example, like ya, like when the anusvara of each of these are all bija mantras for the different chakras. So this is easy. Yara lava. Together.
Yara,
La.
And then the sibilants are sha, which is palatal, sha, which is cerebral. Both of these are pronounced sha, but they're different. Sa, dental, and ha, which is guttural. So the difference between sha and sha it will take a while. It doesn't, as long as you don't pronounce it sa, that's fine. But one, for example, Shiva is this, and Krishna, as we saw, is this. So in order to say the palatal correctly, you have to smile. Shiva. And for this, you don't have to. Krishna. So you have to smile for Shiva. That's and you don't have to smile for Krishna. That's an easy way to know the difference, but just as long as you get it. So, sha, sha, sa, ha. Together.
Sha.
Sha,
sha,
sa.
sa, ha.
So I was reading about the, like again, the energetic, the sibilants are considered also very important. They're the, like the snake sound, like the sound connected with prana. And in the Vedic literature, sa is the sound of the inhale, sa, which, you know, and we exhale as we say it, but sa, and ha is the sound of the exhale. So, and then sha and sha would be connected to the retention. And but they're special and powerful enough to get their own little part. And then these are special compound consonants. Ksha is the k and the sh, and that's considered something of a sibilant. Tra and nya, which Sarah was asking about. This is like jnana or agnya. It's these occur enough to get there. This one is often included in the alphabet. These two sometimes not. All right. Any questions?
Could you repeat the part about which ones are associated with in the inhale versus exhale?
So all of the sibilants are associated with prana, the breath. Sa, the dental one, sa, is associated with the inhale, is considered the sound of the inhale.
Yeah.
And ha, of course, is the sound of the exhale. And then sha and sha are associated with retention. They're like the peacekeepers, like Shanti and yeah.
Shanti. Does it go like from front to back? Is that how we can remember?
Sha is at the back. It goes from back to front. Sha,
Sha,
sha, sa, ha.
sha,
So it moves
sa,
up from the
ha.
back, from the palatal.
From back to
Sha,
front.
terrible. Sha,
Sha,
sa, ha.
sa, ha.
Which
Yes.
is Shavasana?
Shavasana is this palatal. Shava is corpse. And like let's see what's the there's a lot of asana names that have this too, like Parangushtasana is this. Gushta is this. That's gushta, like that. So your tongue remains cerebral. Gushta. Other questions? Okay, we can chant through that, but also since all of you are yoga teachers, let's try. So all of this is, so one thing so where's this? So you know that word?
Dhanurasana?
But it's not really Dhanurasana, it's Dhanurasana. There's no ya, Dhanurasana. Dha. So you can see that's a soft Dhanurasana. It's not da, it's Dhanurasana. Okay.
Asteya.
Asteya, right.
Asteya.
So you know what Asteya is?
It's discipline, right? What is it?
No, non-stealing. Non-stealing.
Non-stealing.
Right. Pratyahara, right. So you're just noticing the long pratyahara, the long So in order to say things correctly, noticing the longs and the shorts is the most important. So here's one.
Shaucha.
Shaucha, right.
I feel like I'm cheating because of the ashram.
You are. Shush. No.
Cheater.
Shaucha. So most of the time this is taught saucha, but it's not saucha, it's shaucha. So what's this one? Do you know what this one is? You can't talk, Sheila.
Purity.
Purity, right. Shaucha. So here you can see the Raja Kapotasana. It's a long Raja. Eka Pada Raja Kapotasana. Okay. Let's see if there's others. I was looking for something in particular, but I'm not finding it. All right, let's chant. How are we doing for time? Okay, let's chant through the, we'll go do the consonants, call and response, and maybe we'll do the alphabet all together one time and then sit for a few minutes and move on. Sound good? Okay, I will lead you through the consonants and then we'll sit and then we'll do the whole thing. Ka, ka, ga, ga, nga. Ka, ka, ga, ga, nga. Ka, ka, dra, dra, na, cha,
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 dra,
cha,
dra,
cha,
na,
nya,
ta, ta, da, da, na, ta, ta,
ta,
da,
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 na,
na,
ta, ta, da, da, na, ta,
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 da, da,
da,
na, pa, pa, ba, ba, ma, pa,
pa,
pa, ba,
pa,
ba,
pa,
ma, yara, lava.
Thank you.
Yara, lava, prasha, saha,
Prasasaha.
Okay. Okay, now let's do the whole, and then we'll sit again for a couple more minutes, and we'll do it all. We'll do I, then we'll do the other still simple r, r, l, r, then a, I, o, ow, aha, and then on to the consonants. I'm not going to lead because we all have the sheets ourselves. Is that okay?
Mm-hmm.
I'll do an om first. Together. A, I, O, ow, aha, ka, ka, ga, ga, nga, cha, cha, dra, dra, na, ta, ta, da, da, na, ta, ta, da, da, na, pa, pa, ba, ba, ma, yara, la,
Lava.
sha, sha, Kshatra, Okay. Any questions? No? Okay. So let's go on. Did you guys get this printout that I sent an hour ago?
I don't think so.
All right. Well, we're gonna do. I thought we would do some with. We talked about doing some with Om, and then I have the Yoga Sutras that have to do with Om also. So we'll do some with that. So Om is, of course, the basic first bija mantra. It encompasses from the ah. Oh, I forgot to explain the reason why all the vowels are said. Sheila, you know this, but the vowels are all said to start with ka, because you can't open your mouth without saying ah. So the vowel itself, the consonants, sorry, the consonants, when you see them, they all have an ah after them. That's their form. But of course, you aren't always going to have an ah after a ka. You might have an e. It might be ki or ku or ko or cow. So this is also on the alphabet chart. The different ways that you write them to show, there are different ways that you write them to show the to show what happens as it to have the ka, for example, or any of the consonants changed to have a vowel other than the after them, or to be, if you just want to do ka, not ka, you have to have that little hull mark there. So that's important, as you know, obviously, in the more deeper you get into Sanskrit, the more you get, once you start writing it, you have to be able to write more than just ka. And incidentally, you know, ka, the first consonant, is also considered sort of the, like ah is the sound of creation and the void, but ka, it means like what or who. It's the question mark too, the first. So it's also considered like the initiating sound of creation. What? What's going on here? Which? So this is from the Mandukya Upanishad, which I think is the shortest Upanishad, but a great one. Sheila, you probably have this, Guruji's Mandukya Upanishad. It's there at the ashram in any event, but you're not at the ashram right now.
Yeah.
What? What'd you say?
Sadly, I don't have that. It's at the ashram.
So we'll do a little bit with Om and with writing Om, and then we'll look at the Yoga Sutras that have to do with Om. So Om is the sound of creation, and it's from the back, so that encompasses all the vowels from the back of the mouth up to the front, to the A-U, and then all the way from that to the A, to the to the end of the simple consonant. That's Om, Aum. To say, I think somebody asked last time about saying it correctly, and you'll hear it pronounced a lot of different ways. It is totally okay to say just Om. O and Ow, like Ow is sort of like the deeper expression of O. But I feel like, you know, if you think of the fact that you can't open your mouth without saying ah, you'll get the sounds correctly. You don't have to go ah, Om, but it's that's, you start with the anyhow. Just as soon as you like let air come out, it makes an So think of it as coming from the back of your throat, and it starts to happen instead of going oh, which is just like instead of thinking of it first coming from the lips, think of it starting from the back of your throat, and you'll have the feeling of it at least, and then the sound will follow. This Om can be written a number of different ways. There's the way that we usually see it, which is, and do you guys have paper or pen to write stuff also? Because we're going to do some writing with it.
Yes.
Okay. Mm-hmm. So it can be written, this is the way we usually see it. Om. It can also be, this is O, and this is Om. It can also be, this is Ow, and that's Om also. All of these are Om. But we're going to deal with this one, whoops, with the, this. So, it has, each of the letters, each of the A, U, and have meanings and have been given associations with the symbol for it too. as you did get this, I only sent it an hour ago, so it's in there. So this is the A, the biggest, and it's the Jagrat, or the waking state. Jagrat. Then this is the U, this is the A. This is the U, it's Swapna, or the dream state, the subconscious dream state. This is the and it's Sushupti or Sushupta. And that's like the deep sleep, the actual, the latent unconscious. This is more like the active unconscious, you know, the dreams. This is like the inactive or latent unconscious. Then this represents Maya, or illusion, or engagement with the world. And then the dot up here is Turiya, or like samadhi. This is the silence after Om. So then you say the Om, then there's the silence, and that represents the samadhi, the quiet, the pause. So we're going to do a little bit of drawing and oming as we like sort of like let yourself feel both the vibration of saying Om and of and think about, you know, the three different parts of the human experience that it's meant to incorporate. Om is said to be the as they say in the Yoga Sutras, the way that we it is Ishvara, and is associated also with Purusha, with the seer, pure consciousness. So it's our way to connect to pure consciousness. So let's do a few minutes of writing Om and chanting it together. You guys have something to write with?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So together. So, and it's sort of like doing a rolling Om. We can start together and then do it on your own as you write. Let's do it. I'll set the timer for a few minutes. Okay, just a second. Okay. So in the Yoga Sutras, there are three sutras on Om. So the basic structure of the Yoga Sutras is that book one. So book one is Samadhi, Hadaha, which is Samadhi is absorption in the state of awareness, of pure awareness, with awareness that you are absorbed in the state of pure awareness. And book one begins by telling you what yoga. Now we're going to talk about yoga. It defines yoga. Yoga is the controlling of the thinking, really, of the whole sort of mental, emotional apparatus. Then why would you want to do it? Because when you control the thinking, then you can see your true nature. You can occupy. You can fully understand what you really are. When you can control the thinking, you can experience yourself. And then at all other times, you identify with the movements of the mind. Then it tells you what the movements of the mind are, the way that the particular ways that the mind works, and that you control the movements of the mind with abhyasa and vairagya, with practice and non-attachment. It defines abhyasa and vairagya, practice and non-attachment or dispassion. And then it tells you how you work with it, what that process is, how that works, that it leads you towards samadhi. And it says, if you are intent on this process, you'll get there. The goal is near. And even, but there's different degrees of attention. And then it says, or you can surrender to Ishvara. So you can do all the work. You can do all the steps. But the fast track is to surrender to Ishvara, to God. And Ishvara is not like a creator God. It's more like all of existence personified. Like it's all of existence one step into like being a person, a being, and not male or female being, but just beingness. Then it explains who Ishvara is, and as it describes, Ishvara is is not touched by karma, is the teacher of all teachers, beyond time, omniscient. And then it says, the first one is Sutra 127, Tasya Vachakaha Pranavaha. Tasya Vachakaha Pranavaha. So tasya means is a version of that, or his or that. It's the genitive. So of Ishvara, vachaka, va is from vach, to speak, and so it's his symbol, his speech, the way he's called, or the way he's called, both in terms of the way Ishvara is expressed and the way that you call to Ishvara, is pranava, is om, is like the first sound. So this says om expresses Ishvara. Tasya vachakaha pranavaha. Together? Tasya vachakaha pranavaha. So you see that this has the pran, it has the cerebral, so it's pranavaha. Pranavaha. So together again, tasya vachakaha pranavaha. Together, tasya vachakaha pranavaha. Right. So om is om expresses Ishvara. Then the next sutra, which I don't have printed out like this, it's on, although I do have, where's my little?
I'm sorry, Melissa. Ishvara isn't creator God. I remember that, but he's or she, the God that things come together in, right? Like
So Ishvara,
I feel really ashamed that I'm asking. I should know.
Comes from Ish, to rule. So Ishvara is the one in charge. That's all it means. Ishvara is the guy in charge, the guy or gal in charge. So I like to think of Ishvara as the one who holds the space for all of this to happen. So Ishvara, and then that's the real idea, is that you surrender to a power higher than yourself. And yeah, that's right. This is it. Tasya vachakaha pranava. There's the painting for it that I did.
Beautiful.
And Ishvara is also, if you think of all of reality as one big unmanifest whole, like everything is just one thing, it's difficult to surrender to all that is, to everything that is. So Ishvara is that brought one step in. It's like a code word for reality personified. That's what Ishvara is. It's like a think of it like a code word for reality as a person. The Yoga Sutras do make Ishvara a being. It's a purusha. It's a being. It's a special. It's like reality as a being.
Manifest and unmanifest reality,
manifest and unmanifest, all that is. Yeah.
All that is.
Yeah, and Om is definitely of manifest and unmanifest. It's the manifest and unmanifest.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah.
Well, it's the conscious. You said subconscious, semi-conscious, like all.
Oh yeah, all of that. But that's the manifest and unmanifest, all brought all into one. Again, the coming from the ah to the u is the full act of going from the unmanifest to the manifest.
How cool.
Yeah. Okay, so that's the first one about Ishvara. Oh, we're at noon. Do you guys want to just quickly go through the next?
I have to head out actually, but
okay.
I can always catch up on the recording or whatever. All right.
Okay.
Thank you.
Nice to see you, Emily.
Nice to see you too.
Bye, Emily.
All right. We'll just do the next two. So Tadjapas, Tad Arta Bhavanam. Together. Tadjapas.
Tadjapas. Tad Bhavanam.
Right. That means that the repetition of that, the repetition and meditation on that leads to the realization of its meaning. So Tadjapas, Tadarta, Bhavanam. And then the last one, Tata Pratyak Chaitana Digamo Pyantaraya Bhavascha. I'll do it slowly. Tata Pratyak. Tata Pratyak. Chetana, Digamo, Piantaraya, Bhavascha. So then from that, the realization, from that, from that, the destruction of all obstacles and the realization of the self. So from the repetition of Om comes the realization of the true self and the destruction of all obstacles. So, and then the Yoga Sutras go on to describe those obstacles, to list the obstacles that are part of the path. So any questions? Do you guys have anything you want me to cover next time? Anything in particular you want to focus on?
Well, we're going to go over the Yoga Sutras, right?
Yep. We'll do, so I just did some Yoga Sutras. Next time, let's just start with the Yoga Sutras and we'll just do Yoga Sutras. We won't do any, does that sound good?
To me, yes.
Okay. What do you think, Sarah?
I'm totally open to it. I'm really appreciating this and loving it.
Okay, so next time I'm totally fine with like just doing Yoga Sutras. If the first group of people wanted more learning Sanskrit, but let's just do Yoga Sutras. We'll do that next time.
Well, good. As you wish, you're the teacher, you know.
What?
I just, as you wish. I mean, I think that because that's what we do at the ashram and I like it so much. But if
I've been spending since the last 9 years working with the Yoga Sutras. I've
seen on your Instagram. Well, it's so nice. It's so lovely to read them in Sanskrit and to chant it, you know? Like, yeah. It's such a beautiful.
Yeah. And it's also good to get, as I think a lot of times people, you did them at the ashram all the time, but I think a lot of times like people who do yoga teacher trainings, for example, they don't get they learn you learn some key sutras, but you sort of don't, which is good. And it's good just to chant them and you get a sense of the energy, but you don't understand like how the whole thing fits together and the whole, sort of the beauty and the scope of the whole work of the Yoga Sutras. So, and so we'll do some both with just chanting. We'll just chant them, go through them, and we'll talk about what they mean and how they all fit together. Do that next time. All right, good. Should we do a final Om together? Om. Om. Thank you both very much.
Thank you.
Thank you.
The rest of your day. And Sarah just got some not such great news just before the class. So.
Oh, sorry, Sarah. I sent you both lots of energy, and it was so beautiful to have this little moment together.
It's really nice. Yeah. I know. Good. All right. Love to you both. See you next time.
Bye.
Bye.